Hi, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Dina, and we're the hosts of The Love Pod.
The Love Pod is a reality TV podcast that recaps our favorite shows.
We also talk to the stars of the show.
You can also tune in for our reality TV news bites, spoilers, spilling the tea, and casting updates from all your favorite reality shows.
Subscribe to listen to all the things we love about reality TV. Follow us on all the major social apps at Love Pod Podcast.
Thanks for listening. We love you.
Cassie from The Circle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here. You are a busy lady, and we are so thrilled that you could come on the show and chat with us. We have a lot of questions for you. We've got fan questions, and we've got some games to play. So I saw that you are a bit of a reality TV fan. Now, we don't get too many reality stars who also watch a lot of reality TV too. So tell me what your favorite show is and if that influenced your decision to apply for The Circle.
Well, like you said, I love all things reality TV, and this is going to make me sound so ridiculous, but every single year on the very first episode of Big Brother, when that music starts and Julie's standing there, I cry like a baby, literally like a nut job. I just start crying. I just love it. That's my dream, is to be on Big Brother. But I love all reality. It doesn't matter if it's a love show, if it's competition shows, or just watch it like the Kardashians or whatever. I love it all. I love it all.
That's so awesome. Have you applied to Big Brother?
No, because I have 5 kids and I can't be gone for 3 months. Now, maybe they get a little older, but like my youngest baby, she's just 5. And I don't think that I can be gone that long right now.
I know that you applied to be on The Circle. So what was that like?
Well, I had never even watched The Circle before. My best friend, Michael Davidson, he was on The Traitors. We've been friends for like 20 years or whatever. And he was like, I know you can't do Big Brother because of the time frame. You should really apply for The Circle. It's basically the same thing, except you're by yourself versus being in a house with everybody. So I was like, okay, I mean, worst case scenario, they don't email me back, right? So I literally just applied and I sent a few DMs to the casting people, and I got a phone call, like legitimate, within like 5 minutes after applying. And then after that, it went so fast. Like every day there were new Zooms and new interviews. And before I knew it, I was on a plane going to Georgia.
Oh my goodness. What was how quick was it from when you applied to when you actually left to film?
I'm going to say like 2 months.
Okay.
It was a process, but I know I said 2 months, but it didn't seem like 2 months because every day they had you doing something else, like uploading pictures and videos and Zooms and like little stuff like that. So it went by really fast, even though it was like 2 months.
Was there any point where you considered catfishing instead of coming on as yourself?
Well, during the interview, they ask you, do you want to be yourself or do you want to go in as a catfish? And I told them I just wanted on. I didn't care what I had to do or who I had to be. I just wanted on. And then like during, I think it was my second interview, they were like, so we've decided you're going to be yourself. And I was like, okay, good. Because I don't think I could have really been a catfish.
I think that would be really hard. We spoke with Alex, is a friend of ours from season 1, and he obviously catfished. And I was like, I don't know how you keep your story straight. I don't know how you act like another person the whole time when you've got to chat. That just seems really, really hard to do. But props to everybody who catfishes and gets away with it.
I know, because like I barely can like handle me, let alone handling me and pretending to be somebody else. I can't do it.
Did you have a strategy going in where you wanted to like catch the catfish, or what was your plan?
Well, for me, in The Circle, being a catfish doesn't mean you can't win. Like you can still win being a catfish or not. So my goal wasn't to get the catfishes out, because really, what's the point? So my strategy was I didn't have one. Like I just so go with the flow. I feel like I'm very adaptable, and I know how I am. I know that if I had a plan and then they threw in a twist or whatever, and I would have to start all over, I would be screwed. I'd be like, oh my God, what do I do now? So I just thought it'd be best if I just went in and winged it. And it obviously didn't work, so I don't suggest that whatsoever.
What are you going to do with this newfound fame? Do you have any plans in the works? Is there anything you can share with us?
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm famous. I wouldn't say that I've got any fame.
You are on a hit Netflix show, so you don't have to say it, but I'm going to throw it out there. I would like to see a spinoff with you and Brandon.
I know. Would that not be wonderful? Like, I don't have any like pull or connection to do that, but if I did, I would totally be pitching that. So hopefully somebody out there is pitching that for me and him. Because
Yes.
all I can think about is like the Simple Life 2.0 with like
Oh
me and
my
Brandon going and
God.
doing whatever. I think that would be so fun.
I love that. I was thinking like even just following you guys in your day-to-day lives, but a resurrection of the simple life would make my life. Like I would love that. Do you think 17-year-old beginner Instagram Cassie would have played the game the same way as you today?
No, she was a lot dumber. It would have been way worse. I mean, I know I'm not the smartest, but just a little bit more than what I was at 17.
All right. But you never know. Maybe that would have worked out because your innocence would have swayed the fan base.
Maybe. I've already got so many bless your hearts. I can't eat. I've lost count.
Oh, no. You never want to bless your heart.
Nope.
That is my favorite insult of all time. Even though I'm not Southern, I use it all the time. Now, I know obviously who your other favorite cast member is from your season, but who is your favorite cast member from a prior season?
I love Sam from season 5. Absolutely loved her. As soon as I started watching that season, I was like, I hope she wins. Love her. And she was actually one of the first ones to reach out after the cast had dropped. So I was like, I knew I loved her for a reason. But no, she is my absolute fave.
Oh, good. Do you guys have a little network of either Circle Cast or Netflix Cast that everybody kind of keeps in touch?
My season, we've got a group chat with all of us in it. But as far as like prior, no. Like they've all not I won't say all, but a handful of them have reached out personally, but we don't have like a group chat or anything with all the Circle cast.
Yeah. I would love to see that. I know there's a lot of interaction between the Love is Blind casts, and then like I've seen season 1 of The Circle, they all get together with other cast members too. So you guys have to have some kind of reunion or like big celebration. It's been 6 seasons.
We actually are this Saturday. Everybody's going out to LA and we're having like a rap party. Oh. So I do know a lot of the prior casts will be there. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, my invite must have gotten lost in the mail. I live in Phoenix.
Well, come on out, Sissy.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you have experience as a catfish previously, and there are a lot of women and men who may need to catfish for similar reasons. So what tips do you have for playing a catfish?
My biggest tip is playing it cool. Like I'm one of those, if I'm guilty, you can see it all over my face. Like if I know something, I can't hardly bite my tongue, but you've got to have a made up mind and you've got to say, I can't rat on myself. Because if you rat on yourself, you blew it. You blew the whole thing.
Was that, I mean, it must have been hard, but was that hard feeling like when you're in the circle? You had mentioned that catfish didn't really matter to you. I think that the same as well. Like that's not the point of the game. It does seem to be a focus for a lot of people on prior seasons. But did that change your relationships once you met everybody in person, whether they were real or not?
No, I could have cared less. Like truly, honestly, could have cared less. Like for instance, Caress and Paul. I thought she was Paul the whole time. I didn't see her until finale night. And like now I love her. She's one of like as a fan and watching the show, she's one of my favorites. She's so funny. Yeah. So, and if anything, I wish she and Brandon both would have come in as themselves, you know, because they are so funny and they are so lovable and relatable. I feel like they're all very relatable to me. So, but no, it didn't make me think anything negative towards them.
I didn't think so, but you never know. And I thought the same thing. I've seen that a lot as well, that they should have come in as themselves. And I think it doesn't, I love their personalities, but it makes the game fun to have those catfish. Maybe a
Oh
dual
yeah, 100%.
profile.
Because I mean, Brandon is still being himself. You know what I mean? And then like
Yeah.
Chris, she's throwing the word bro in, but I mean, she's still being her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Once
no, it does
you
make it
see
fun.
them, you can put it together.
Yeah.
Now, you've talked about your fiance, and we've seen videos of your family, 5 children. So what were their reactions to you getting cast on the show and being gone?
I honestly, they're so young. The smallest one, like I said, is 5, and then we've got 2 8-year-olds, and then 11 and 12-year-old. And you know, this was filmed last October, so at the time they were all a year younger than what they are
Sure.
now. I don't really think it registered to them exactly what that meant, like going
Okay.
and being on Netflix. It was all
Sure.
excited, and I left. And with our custody, we both have 50-50. It's week on, week off. So I was technically, because I had them the week that I left, and I left on a Friday. So I technically was only gone for a week from them because they were at their mom's and their dad's house.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
But like I said, I really don't think it clicked with them, like how big of an ordeal that it really was. You know what I mean? Because they're little. And I was telling, you know, my 8-year-old, I was like, there was 47,000 people applied, and they picked me out of all those people. And she's like, well, that's cool. I'm like, it's more than cool.
Yeah, really. Have they seen the show?
Yeah. Every Wednesday that they're here, you know, we'll pile on the couch and we'll watch it. And then, you know, like I said, we do week on, week off. And the following week, they're like FaceTiming, you better not be watching this circle without us. And we're like, okay.
Now, I know one of your daughters had a very cool experience with Paul. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, my little Caroline Jubilee. So this is going to make me sound terrible. So obviously, I knew the song, but I just didn't have a face with the song.
Yeah, me either.
Because it was all over TikTok, people dancing to it, not necessarily him. And when we found out that Paul was Paul, I was like, oh my God, I love him, but I hate him, because that's the only flipping song that has been in my car for the last 3-6 months. So I knew that I had to reach out, and basically was like, please do this. She's your biggest fan. And he didn't even hesitate. He done it like within 30 minutes, I feel like. I got it instantly. And I just thought that was so nice, because you know how busy he is. Now, he's really famous. You know what I mean? I'm not. He is. And I just thought that was so nice that he took the time out of his day for my little Caroline.
Yeah,
Jubilee.
absolutely. That was so sweet. And her reaction was so cute and so genuine. I love that. I know you mentioned when you first walked into your apartment on the circle that you were excited to be by yourself for the first time in ages. Did you feel, because it seems like you guys are very isolated, you don't have social interaction in person with anybody other than the production team. So was that a good vacation for you? Were you ready to leave when you got blocked?
Like I said earlier, I feel like I'm very adaptable. Like, I can be in a room full of people and live my best life, or I can be completely isolated in the circle by myself and live my best life. Like, I've just always been that way. I can be very introverted, and then I can be very extroverted. So
would you have done anything differently?
Yeah, I would have kissed butt. Like, I would have absolutely went in there and kissed everybody's hind end and been all fake. And like, I'm just, you know, I should have done that. I really should have done that.
I don't know. I don't think Lauren is fake at all, but it seems like she is genuinely nice to everybody. Oh, okay.
Sorry, my face. While I was there, but now I know her, and I know that it's completely different. But while I was there, and I'm not the only one who said it, like, she's so nice. Like, how can you be that nice? But in person, she really is that nice. And I even said it, like, I don't know anybody that's this nice. Like, they have to be a phony. But she got farther than I did.
Now, you mentioned there were some little bits that didn't air, not too much, but is there anything in particular that happened besides your meeting with Brandon that you wish had aired or didn't air?
Yes, the whole conversation in the group chat when I was talking to Miles and I said hashtag blonde moment. I literally was cracking up. I thought it was funny because, first off, you don't get to just go to their profiles anytime you wanted to. I didn't know that. So I didn't write anything down because I just thought, well, if I want to know something, I can just pull it up, not the case. So I had no idea that he was an AI engineer until he brought it up. So, like I said before, I think everything's funny. So I was cracking up, but they make you repeat it over and over. And I think the clip that they showed was when after I had said it 10 times and I was over it and I was like, blonde moment, you know. But my first original reaction was, that's something I would do, blonde moment. I really wish they would have kept that and not made it out like I was attacking him.
Now, you had said you're not Paul's level of fame, but it seems like you're a fan of Afterpay. You've got some brands that I could see some potential opportunities with. So are you in talks to get sponsored by anybody yet? Do you think there's going to be any opportunities like that for you?
I mean, I could only hope and dream, but have I been reached out to? No, not yet. Hint, hint. Let's get that going. But that would be a dream because it's embarrassing, really. When we get off this, I'll send you the screenshot of my Afterpay, how many like purchases that I have going out right now. I mean, why spend 100 when you can spend 20 4 times?
Yeah, it's totally valid and legit. We'll tag them. Maybe we can get them to help you out. You should be the face of Afterpay.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because I mean, literally, they can look at my account and know that I am a faithful.
Now, I have to ask you, Cassie, this is probably the most controversial question. What did you think pickles were made from?
I never thought about it. Honestly, like I never truly thought about it. I just thought it was like every other fruit or vegetable. It just
grew on trees.
Come out of the ground.
Now, I hate to burst your bubble. Actually, you might not mind. I am anti-pickle. But I found out recently, and this broke my heart, that Chick-fil-A marinates their chicken in pickle juice. So
see, I hate pickles and I hate cucumbers.
Me too.
I hate them both. So that's
Yes.
probably why I didn't know they were both the same. But what's so funny about that is I love Chick-fil-A. And we don't have one where I'm from. The closest one to me is an hour away. So every time we're in that direction, I always swing through. And I hate pickles, so I order mine plain. But you're right, they do.
Yeah. Now we have some fan questions for you. So Whitley Davidson, I'll just give you some background. She is a small town, or they are a small town person. I didn't look at the profile picture. Sorry, Whitley. Lives in Campbell County, Tennessee now, but her husband or their husband is from Manchester, Kentucky, and their mother-in-law lives in Burning Springs. So wanted to know how you think living in a small town prepared you to do a competition show.
I think I touched on it earlier about having thick skin. Because in a small town, I'm telling you, they will talk about you because they don't have anything else to talk about. You know what I mean? Because we literally are like 10 years behind when it comes to like our way of living and our social, you know what I mean? So I think having tough skin from being a small town, from coming from a small town really helped. And also for me, being in a small town, I talk to a lot of people because that's all there is here is people because we only have like 3 restaurants. Our Walmart doesn't even sell food. So you don't have anything else to do but to talk. So I think that helped too, like being very social.
Has people's reactions in your town to you changed now that you're on the show?
No, because they already knew me. Does that make sense? Because it's so small. Like everybody knows everybody. Like, for instance, my little girl's teacher, I graduated high school with her. So, I mean, everybody knows everybody.
Okay. How do you feel about Miles now that you've seen the show?
I feel kind of what put my foot in my mouth. Like, when it comes to the question, how do you go into, I think Jordan asked, how do you come into the ratings? And I said, well, at the end of the day, it's a game. I'm very blunt. Like, if you don't want to know something, do not ask me. And I feel like Miles is the same way. And that just makes me love and appreciate him even more. You know what I mean? Because either you, just like me and him, either you love us or you hate us. And I'm all about full transparency. It is what it is. He's not going to sugarcoat it. And I love that. So I still like him just like I did on the show, even though he painted a target on my back. But, and he can play it off like it was a roast. And technically it was. But I feel like I was calling out his, game when I said hashtag no game, as far leaning that towards his pickup lines and him hitting on Corey Tyler, not his actual circle game. So I thought I was being nice, but calling somebody a snake is not nice.
No, it's not. All in the love of the game. All's fair when $100,000 is on the line.
Yeah, don't blame him. I wish I would have done it. Now, looking back, with all that anonymous stuff, I should have went hard. I should have just gave it to him.
Now is one of my favorite parts of the show. It is our Instagram deep dive, where we went way back into your Instagram history. As I mentioned before, we're going to start out easy on you.
Okay,
we're going to start with your moment when you met Olivia. So I'm going to ask you a brief description of what's going on for people who are listening audio only, and then what you thought during that moment.
I can't hear anything, but if you can hear it, it goes really silent because I'm like, well, because I didn't see him like on the couch behind the pillows. I was like, well, this is awkward. Where are you at?
No.
And then when those pillows moved and we just started screaming, I was like, ah! And then it hit me finally. Oh my God, this is a man.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was 1 second where it seemed like you knew exactly who was going to be there and what was going to be going on. It didn't.
And I had no idea. And he was like, because we were standing so far apart, and he was like, well, can I hug you? And I'm like, well, yeah, come on. It was fun.
I don't think there is sound on these, just so you know. It's just the video clips. So then the next one is you getting your very own day in your town, which just happens to be which date is Cassie Saylor Day?
4/20. I said, as if they don't already think that I'm goofy enough. They probably think I'm a big smoker and that's why I'm so goofy, when really that is not the case. I get drug tested for work, okay? It is not legal in Kentucky yet. But that was super. I thought that was really sweet. And I know I've said it 100 times, I'm from a super small town, and I just thought that was so nice that they done that for me, because they didn't have to. And I really don't know what we're going to do next year on that day, but we're going to have fun.
Okay. Next one, the inspiration for your Barbie themed apartment.
Yeah. So that photo, here's a little tea, I guess you can say. That was 2 days post-divorce breakup. Well, we wasn't officially divorced, but that was 2 days after we decided, we were going to move out, whatever. After I was told I was chubby, nobody was going to want me with 2 kids and blah, blah, blah. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, they want me while I have you, let alone when I don't have you. And I can lose this baby weight because Caroline was literally 3 months old at the time. I just had a baby. And I thought, all I got to do is post one good picture, change my profile picture, and my inbox will be full. Don't worry.
Your revenge plan.
Yep. And it worked.
It obviously
2
worked.
days later, well, maybe not 2 days, maybe a week later, Nate, my fiance now, reached out and asked to take me on a date. So it worked.
I forgot about what we should have started with, your very first entrance into the circle. What was filming that like? What was your mindset going in?
So basically you walk into a closet. It's so small, and there's the green screen, and then there's a camera guy in a hole. and her name was Allison, and she was to the left of me. And they kept saying, "Don't look at me, look at the camera." But every time when I would get done, you can see in those clips, I would like look over to her because she's asking you questions, and it's I don't want to use the word live, but they're recording.
Yeah.
And I don't get nervous. I was really nervous. And finally I looked at her and I was like, you know what? This is once in a lifetime. Let's start over. Let's go. And we started over, and you see what happened. I got on.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, we obviously see you get to pick your profile pictures and the pictures you share, but do they pull pictures for you to narrow it down, or can you just carte blanche pick from whatever you want?
I know that there's been other cast mates that are very dominant and I want this. I'm not. I'm very laid back. I sent my pictures, and then they send you an email with like hundreds of pictures that you have to approve that they can use. And they actually got on my Facebook and my Instagram and got more pictures that I hadn't posted. And actually, the profile picture that they picked, I didn't pick that. I had picked the one that's on my Instagram right now. But like I said, I was like, okay, obviously you all know what you're doing. If you think that one looks best, then obviously I'm going to go for it. So.
All right. Now we're only going to do one really old throwback. We're not going to toss you under the bus too bad, but here is the next one. Describe the photo and tell us the context of this one.
Okay, well, we were at Dick's Last Resort restaurant, and if you don't know what that is, they give you basically condom hats, and they're really rude and they're really mean, and you can't ask them any questions because they're going to talk to you like you're an idiot. And on these condom hats, they write mean stuff on there, and as you can, well, for those who can't see, it says easier than community college. And I legitimately was about 16 years old in that picture. Legit. So it's super cringe, and I cannot believe that's on there. As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going and deleting it.
It's too late, Cassie. It's too late.
It's too late now. I guess I might as well keep it.
Now, if you remember, right at the beginning of our recording, I asked you to pick a number between 1 and 54. Yes. So I started channeling Steffi a little while ago, and I got this spirit animal deck. Now, I don't know the rules of how you're supposed to read these, and it's a little difficult when you're not in person anyway. So there's a 54 card deck. I asked you to pick a number. You picked number 17. So while we were chatting, I counted to number 17, and I apologize, Steffi, if I'm doing this wrong, but your card is the Scorpion of New Beginnings. There we go. Ooh. So I'm going to read this to you. I haven't read it yet. And you tell me if it applies at all.
Okay.
You are invited to instigate change, but you are also being warned that this transformation may be radical. Get rid of everything in your current life that can prevent you from improving. Based on this principle, destroy before rebuilding. You are promised a beneficial rebirth. Does that apply at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to share?
I don't want to cry.
Okay. Don't cry.
So I love, reality, and I feel as if like social media, for those who can't be on a reality show that streams all that, like follows you around like the Kardashians or whatever, I feel like social media can replace that for those who don't have that luxury.
Sure.
And I have been going back and forth. Do I quit my job and really buckle down and become an influencer or whatever, or do I stay? And to me, that's kind of telling me to get rid of everything that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Quit my job.
Uh-oh. I've seen your videos of your boss. I don't know how that's gonna go. Well, I'll send you a picture of this so you have it as a memento.
Yes, please.
We're going to do at least one. Pick a partner, where we ask you to pick a cast member, male or female, from your show you would do a scenario with. So it might be go to karaoke or survive a zombie apocalypse. Okay. Pick a partner that you would switch lives with.
Let's go with Corey Tyler. Because I have always cheered. I'm actually a cheer coach. She's cheered or danced for, the NBA. So that would be fun. I'd like to do that.
Okay.
So I would switch with her.
Okay. Do you still dance? Do you still, keep active with that?
I wasn't necessarily on a dance team. I always cheered, but no, I'm too old. I'm 30. I can't cheer, but I do.
Please, girl.
But I do coach my little girls and my stepkids' cheer team for their school.
Pick a cast member to switch bodies with.
Autumn.
Okay.
Have you seen her butt? It is round and juicy, and I want it. Mine's flat as a pancake.
I didn't know if maybe you'd want to experience life as a guy.
No, that sounds boring. Who wants to?
Pick a partner you'd want to live with.
Brandon.
I thought that might be the case. What about somebody you'd want to be stranded on a desert island with?
I'm going to have to go with Kyle, only because he's in shape and he could run up a tree and grab some bananas or go swim in the ocean and like do all the hard stuff, because I would be out.
I love how your gauge of who you'd want to spend time with is who could climb a tree. That's great.
Just somebody that's in shape that's going to go like build us a little house or whatever. I'm
going to be a provider. Yeah. Okay. Who would you want to commit a crime with?
Probably Lauren, because she's so nice and nobody would ever believe it. They'd be like, there's no way this girl done that. I'd be like, yeah, for real. So I want to be next to her.
It's always the ones you don't expect. Who would you want to survive a zombie apocalypse with?
Well, I think if it was down to me and Brandon, we would just die. We're two hot messes. I don't think we would last 5 minutes. I don't know. That's a really hard one. Maybe Jordan, because he's funny, but yeah, he's still serious. So we can have a good time, but still get down to business.
All right. Now, Jordan's probably the most controversial cast member so far.
And he's my favorite. Well, they're all my favorites, but I love how he's just putting it out there and just doing it. I mean, when you come in late, you have no other choice.
And then finally on this game, who would you want to partner with on another reality show?
Brandon. I mean, we've got to get this going. We have to. I mean, we have to.
I know. I don't have any connections, but I will share this with whoever I can, and maybe we can make it happen. If there ever was potential for another reality show, this is it. We want The Simple Life with Cassie and Brandon. Please, please, please.
Or even like bring us back. They've already filmed The Circle season 7. So maybe bring us back for season 8, us catfishing or whatever, and us being there together, doing it together. That would be so fun.
Yeah, I said I would love to see a season where everyone's a catfish and maybe it's all past players. Yeah, so you guys come in together. Like they've had duos come in besides Deuce, obviously, and Kyle. Yeah. But I would love nothing more. Okay, Cassie. Well, that is our time for today. Tell us if there's anything you're working on you'd like to promote. And of course, again, where to follow you online.
I just want to say thank you all for jumping on here and listening to this Hot Mess Express. But you can follow me on Instagram at Cassie Saylor, or you can head over to TikTok and follow me at Dumb Blondie Cassie.
All right. And you can follow us at Love Pod Podcast in the same places, as well as Facebook, Reddit. I don't know if it's social media, we're on there. We try to be active as many places we can. And of course, please subscribe to the Love Pod on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, and give us those 5 stars. We really appreciate it as much as we appreciate you coming on today, Cassie. Thank you so, so much. We hope we get to see you on TV again soon.
I hope you do too.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.